I think most of us have come across these raw carnivore YouTubers at this point, and with a new Pokemon game coming out, it seems like they're the next evolution of the cooked carnivore influencer. Like a lot of people have done in the past, they claim to have the one true answer to health, and they've discovered the optimal human diet that will cure cancer and transform you into a Chad. This video isn't about debating nutrition. I'm not here to tell you what to eat. I'm here to deconstruct the performance, tactics, the logical fallacies, and the purposefully inflammatory bitchiness that they love to employ on other people. Before I start though, I do want to mention that I'm discussing a large group of creators here on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, not one person specifically. So not everything applies to everyone, whether that's the good or the bad.
It's a man-made language with man-made letters. We are not supposed to read in nature. That's why people don't like to read. People always ask me about my favorite books. I don't have any because reading is unnatural. It is not something you're supposed to like.
I usually hate when people use the phrase, "I'm here for a good time, not a long time," because it's usually used to justify harmful behaviour and laziness. These guys take the reverse too far though. It's easy to start to believe these guys because they sound so convincing, but the fact that what they advocate for is so extreme makes you realise how crazy it would be to follow what they suggest.
Terrible video. They have saponins, one of the worst anti-nutrients, hence they're very spicy to the taste. They're very spicy because you're tasting the literal poisons in them. The same way, like when you cut open an onion, it makes you want to cry. Like these plants aren't hiding their defense chemicals. It should be common sense. Intuitively, you don't want to eat an onion, and you don't want to eat a ghost pepper because it has anti-nutrients. Who cares about this like obscure chemical in it when it's not part of the natural human diet? And you can just be in ketosis if you just eat your natural diet, which is meat. This is one of the worst videos I've ever seen.
So no chilies, ever again. Have you really thought about what they're suggesting? No food other than meat. So no going out to restaurants anymore, no Christmas hot chocolate while you watch a nostalgic movie with your girl, no grabbing a protein bar from the vending machine when you forget to bring your dinner to work, no enjoying any cake on your birthday or Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. These guys are literally attempting to suck the fun out of food, which is also why they've essentially found an unlimited content goldmine. They can't convince you to give up enjoying all this cool stuff that we as a species have created over thousands of years because we've been having fun with food since we started eating it, but they can very easily make you feel bad about eating it. They can make you feel like you're doing something wrong by eating fruit. Many insecure people's response to this feeling is to shame others who are not following this lifestyle, even if they themselves aren't either, which is where comments like this come from. And I'd also argue that this comes from the us versus the brainwashed masses mentality, which they use to make their followers believe that they're on a higher mental plane than normies who aren't educated like they are. So these creators will always have normal people's videos to watch, with occasional pauses to mention glycation and drop pointless insults. To address the actual title of this chapter, the appealing to nature fallacy is essentially a logical error and is used sometimes as a manipulative tactic which suggests that if something is natural, it's good, and if something is unnatural, it's bad. But if you think about it for a minute, you'll realise it makes no sense. Is it unnatural to use hand soap? Yes. Should you stop washing your hands then? No. Is it unnatural to look at screens or communicate with people on the other side of the world? Yes. Does that mean I'm going to start writing with a stick in the mud and only talk to people I see face to face? Hell no. Let's be more specific. Many carnivore guys will say that it's the natural human diet to only consume meat, and maybe that we should consume fruit seasonally. They often argue this is common sense. Just because that's what we had to eat in nature, does that mean that now we're living in brick houses with central heating, air conditioning, and sitting on chairs, that we should limit ourselves like that? I don't think so. They also assume that nature wants us to be as healthy as possible and to live as long as possible. I don't think that's true either. To be clear, I'm not even saying that they're definitely wrong, because I'm not arrogant enough to think that I have all the answers. But I am saying that they're oversimplifying it massively when they say things like that. These guys research this stuff day in and day out. So trust me, they have better arguments than that. It's almost like they're using it as a manipulation tactic to say that if you disagree with them, then you have no common sense. Also that you don't need to think about it, because it's just common sense.
This is common anthropology. Fruits are seasonal. Fucking idiot.
Another trend that you'll notice from these creators is that a lot of the time they just behave like arseholes. They're mean and nasty for no reason, and it just comes across as very childish. constant attacks on appearance or the way people talk, and they'll often edit their thumbnails to make the person they're talking about look disgusting. I say this comes across as childish because any adult can tell that this behaviour comes from someone's own insecurities. They'll make fun of the way people speak because they themselves have an eccentric way of talking. They'll make fun of people for aging because they themselves are terrified of getting old. They'll call people who want to get stronger or look stronger gay because they don't like the way their own body looks, and so on and so on. This is what children do, and it's just another reason why these videos appeal to young people especially. I get it. Leafy's here was my favourite YouTuber back in the day, but I realise now that all those insults came from his own insecurities. He was so good at taking the piss out of people because he was so insecure about himself. One of the main ways that these guys do this is by insulting people's lack of energy or blaming any personality trait that they don't like as being related to someone's poisonous diet, when they themselves are very monotone and seemingly devoid of any human emotion apart from irritation. This also fuels engagement because people love to talk shit about the person being discussed in the comments, which they can't get away with on that person's channel. Inflammatory content has always thrived in all kinds of media, and combined with the shocking nature of eating raw meat, it just adds to why they do so well on the algorithm.
Oh, fucking nasty. I would never, honestly, I wouldn't even want you to come over and suck my for free. I still wouldn't even want that from you. I'd want nothing from you.
I believe the success of these raw carnivore YouTubers is less to do with people actually jumping on their diets and more to do with their effective use of fallacies, jargon, performative outrage, and their superiority complexes. If you're going to take anything away from this video, then I'd say remember to think for yourself, do your own research and experimentation, and don't trust people who are unkind for no reason. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments.